Thank you for tuning to Acquired Taste Media. Make sure you click the link in the bio, like, subscribe, know what to do. Really appreciate the love. You know who it is, man. Mr. Sauce on everything. And I'm back with another one. So, I get a lot of pushback and really just, I don't know. Everybody tries to make me seem like I'm the bad guy when I say that, Jay-Z is, I personally don't think that he's a nice guy. Like, he's a good dude. Like, everybody thinks, talks like, oh, Jay-Z this and Jay-Z that because he's a billionaire and he's married to Beyonce. And, he got there all on his own. He's self-made, I guess, all that bullshit. And, I personally think that Jay-Z's a snake. I think that he's always been a snake. I think he snaked Dame, and he snaked his way to the top. I also heard that he snaked Suge Knight, Irv Gotti, and Jay Prince when they tried to come together and start a distribution company. That was back in the 90s, but I heard that was like his first big snake move. But anyways, from what I understand and from the things that I've heard, Jay-Z's a snake. Now, can he rap? Yeah, he can rap, but that doesn't mean he's not a snake just because he can rap real good. And I feel like that's what people, they act like since he got bars that, he can't be a cornball, like a real sucker. And he's really, in my opinion, from the things that I've heard about him from everybody, Dame, Siegel, only person who talks highly of this guy is Memphis Bleak, and he can't see the irony in that because, you up under another nigga wing and he'll never, and once again, just like nobody else around him has been bigger than him, you'll never be bigger than him. You see, people got away from Jay to be bigger than him, which Kanye, who else? Well, Kanye for sure got away from Jay to be bigger than him. Cam, the artists who were artists under Rockefeller really still blew up once they got from under Rockefeller, and did their own thing. So, now we fast forward 20 years later, of course people are going to be on different plateaus doing different things. Cam is podcasting, Dame is, podcast, like it's just a lot of different verticals going on with the music now, which is awesome. But going back to Jay-Z. So, like I say, everybody talks, about him. And I seen the clip of Jay-Z recently where he was talking about how, Beanie Siegel had 2 cars, he had a clothing line, he had this, and, most artists will never see that, can never be that, or never do that. And I put a comment up under it. And man, people were upset. I probably can't see the comment because for some reason my Instagram doesn't log in on my computer for some reason. But let me see if I can get to it right quick, just so I can show you some of the comments. Well, you know what? I can't show you the comments, but what I will do is I can read you some of the comments. So let me go to the page. All right, so the main post was the Jay-Z post, right? Now, what I posted was, I hear Jay, and I don't believe him. I think Jay knew Beans was better and way realer, a bully for real. I think the point when Jay left him in jail stopped all his motion, and that's what Jay wanted for real, for real. You do all these things for an artist just to let him go to jail right before his album drop? Just my opinion, though. So that's what I wrote, because that's what happened. He pretty much went to jail. Like, he was about to be, I believe he had started touring, and his album was about to drop. So, anyways, I had people talking, people who left some comments. So let's see. Some guy, Tariq Kotsi. How did he end up there? Jay put him there. Why would you do stupid things if you have all that great going on in your life? Dude is a grown man. He chose to be dumb before his album release. Why is Jay carrying the blame for another man's dumb decisions? What I reposted was because Jay was supposed to be his friend or his bro. But when shit like this comes up, he makes it seem like they didn't have a relationship and it was all business. Why you think Beans felt the way he felt when Jay didn't look out? Just my opinion, though, because it's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? This is just how I'm looking at the situation. If I was Beans, so then the guy comes back. He says, as a friend, he already gave him the opportunity to make all that, and he chose to do some stupid things. At what point to hold your friends responsible for their own actions? If your so-called friend gives you those opportunities and you choose to F it up. See, once again, these people are, it's like, don't get me wrong, I understand Beans was a criminal. But Jay-Z knew that. They all knew that when they signed him. They all knew that. So that's what kills me about these conversations that people want to go back and forth about. Oh, so I can understand that if Jay-Z signed Beanie Siegel and Siegel was, working every day, had a job, came from a great upstanding household, 2 parents and shit like that, and it was like, oh my God, I can't believe that. But no, nigga, you signed a criminal. He knows who he signed. But once again, this is how these Jay-Z glazers glaze Jay-Z. So boom, then they come back. What more was he supposed to do for him? You can only help people that want to be helped. Also, let's not really act like they were friends like that. Beanie chose Dame over Jay. They were never the type of friends, and even if they were friends, are now responsible for getting you out the rain. Blah 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 blah. So, once again, I understand these individuals' point of view, and I let them know that I understand their point of view. I think the last thing I said, because they started getting real glazy on the Jay-Z side. A lot of people start coming at me on it, talking about Jay. Let's see, oh, your opinion is stupid. LOL. What the fuck are you talking about? Da, da, da. So this is just ignorant shit. He was closer to Dame. Why you not blaming Dame for helping him since that was Jay? But man, they didn't ask Dame. They asked Jay. If they would have asked Dame, Dame would have been like, yeah, I got him. As well as while the nigga was going through whatever he was going through, Dame had the nigga up in the penthouse somewhere, you know what I'm saying, keeping the nigga out of trouble. So let's, if y'all got y'all facts right, then y'all wouldn't even be saying this shit, because Dame did look out for Beans a lot more than Jay did. But once again, if he signed to Rockefeller, then he signed to everybody. And Jay-Z is supposed to be his dude. These niggas, that's his guy. So let's get to the interview.
Ran down everybody's credentials, and
oh, my fault, guys.
I was on tour, so they were saying, they asked Jay. It was like, and I don't even think they said, would you be responsible? When they asked him, they wanted him to be responsible for my whereabouts. Not like he need to know where I'm at, but just get him the information. If I'm supposed to be in Chicago, we make sure he's in Chicago. So they just wanted the whole tour schedule.
You think he understood that? You think he understood it, or he probably understood?
To me at that time, I don't care if you understood it or not.
That's your man.
If my man, this is my man, this is my brother. I don't care what I got to say to get him out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Yeah. They asked me, can I do 20 backflips? And I know I can't do a cartwheel. Yeah, I could do 50 of them. Mm-hmm. For him to come home.
I had to do that. I had to do that for him. I had to go in front of the judge and talk.
Yeah. And they asked him, they said, if I release some, she said, today, would you be responsible, for his whereabouts? And he said no. I would have said it low. And the judge, this public record, man. All you gotta do is go get it. She asked him, she paused. And he said no. She was like, can you speak up in a microphone? And she was like, if we release him today, in your custody to be able to go back on tour and this, that, and the third, would you be responsible? And he was like, no. And the whole courtroom went crazy. Dame snapping, big snapping, niggas.
Right.
Looking like, what? And she couldn't believe it. Bro, she asked him 4 times. And she said, so Mr. Carter, she was like, all these good things that you're saying about Mr. Siegel, and you're not willing to be? He said no. And it took everything in me not to, like I wanted to cry. It took everything in me not to drop a tear. The first thing Jay said when I walked into his office, I said to him, Joe, you just was bouncing a tennis ball around your office.
Now, once again, you just heard the comments that I got, and people talk about he was closer to Dame. When he came home from jail, he went to see Jay because Jay was Rockefeller. Jay was Def Jam, and that's who he was signed to at this point in time. Rockefeller, I believe, Rockefeller Def Jam, or at this point in time, I think it was just Def Jam.
The first thing Jay said when I walked into his office, I said to him, Joe, you just was bouncing a tennis ball around your office. First, he was like, yo, I'm sorry. I'm like, I ain't even worrying about that. Like, what's the play? I'm trying to get back to work. And I'm like, yo, I got a situation, man. Ain't no more Rockefeller. I got a situation where I get some real bread. I'm like, yo, you gotta get me off this joint. I went out. And we just tennis ball. It's the Warriors. I can't do it. Like, what you need? What you want? I'm like, no, I got a chance to get some real paper. Like, if it ain't no more Rockefeller, why am I here on Def Jam? I just wanted to roll. And it was, I don't know, he didn't want to let me go. And it was like, damn. He asked me. I was like, yo, you some money? You want some money? I got you. It's like, nah, I got an opportunity. I can make some real money. Let me go.
Wow.
That's what I'm supposed to.
How y'all cool now? How the relationship with Jay now?
I mean, I don't got no gripes or nothing.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause in hindsight, I sort of kind of understand it. Like, Jay was on a mission.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I look at the overall thing, like, and I recently read something, and it stuck to me, and it made me smile, because I thought about that. They say, if you want to get somewhere fast, go by yourself. But if you want to get somewhere and last, bring your people with you.
Mm.
So Jay was on a mission. I understand that. Everybody can't go. Everybody can't go. He's on a mission. Everybody can't go.
Basically, he was trying to get there fast.
Mm. So,
and me being who I was then, yeah, no, I can't say I would have did that, but I understood it. Because I was.
Because the thing about it is that I feel like this.
I mean, I'm on tour. I'm leaving done.
And shout out to Siegel, man. My thing is this with this situation and with everybody who praises Jay-Z or talks like Jay-Z is just this unbelievable businessman. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that God doesn't do business and doesn't do good business, things of that nature, but being a snake to your own people and to your own friends and to individuals who look at you as a friend, man, that shit ain't cool. That shit ain't never been cool. But it's like people get caught up in individuals being able to rap, which once again, the nigga couldn't out-rap Siegel. Siegel was harder than Hove, period, hands down. And niggas knew it. Jay-Z knew it. He knew this nigga Siegel was a motherfucking problem. And in all actuality, unfortunately, yeah, Siegel did get in his own way. Not gonna say, I can't say that, him being out here in the streets doing what he do. But, and if I go down the rabbit hole, I don't know what I'll find. But I don't know if this nigga might have had this case before he got signed. He might have even caught this case when he got signed. He might have had this shit going on before he even got signed. I don't know. And then back in the day, back in the 90s, we had the hip hop police. So, it was always some shit going on, you know what I mean, with them. But yeah, I mean, listening to Sigel and just seeing the type of snake Jay-Z is, you got to put two and two together and know that Jay-Z knew what he was doing. Because had his album dropped and he was able to tour on it, get that money, get the album, which Jay-Z would have been getting money too, because, I mean, he was signed to them. I don't understand why he wouldn't have just let the nigga be like, yeah, he about to go on tour and we about to make money. He about to make money. We about to make money. And I'm going to make sure he stay on his shit. Because, see, that's what he could have did. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z could have easily made sure Sigel stayed on his shit. And I know motherfuckers be like, well, Sigel a grown man. Sigel this. Man, listen. Hov would have said yes. Right? To the nigga. Yeah, I'll take him. Then they would have had their conditions. All right, well, you got to do this, that, this, that, this, that, and this. All right, boom. Sigel, bro, I got you. We got to do these things, okay? Look, I'm going to put you up. Dame had you in the penthouse. I'm going to put you up in the studio house. That's where you going to live and stay. I'm going to have cameras in that bitch so I know when you there and when you not there, nigga. Your only job at this point in time, nigga, until this case is over, is to rap, my nigga. That's it. I don't want to see you doing, I don't want to see or hear about you doing nothing else. I don't want no niggas off in the spot. I don't want no guns off in the studio. None of that shit, nigga. Your job at this point in time, now that you're under my supervision and I have to be responsible for you, nigga, lock in, nigga. Lock into that booth. Nigga. He would have did that, nigga, right now, yeah. Sigel would be on Kanye, up there with Ye. On the billionaire side too, probably. Because them niggas could have, man, listen. Jay-Z stopped a lot of niggas from eating. And it's unfortunate that, individuals really are scared to probably tell the real story about how they feel about Hov because they're scared to be blackballed and things of that nature. And I understand. You in the industry, you want to get far. You know that Jay-Z is a powerful person, so, you don't want to tell the things that you may know about him or the things that he may have done to you. I get it. But I just want us to stop acting like he's just such a, upstanding, humble guy, nice guy who, made his billions, grinding it out. Because he didn't, okay? He made his millions snaking people out and, doing things, doing things, what's the word I'm looking for? Just doing things that weren't conducive to him and his team. Like Beans just said, he was focused on getting there fast, so he was like, I'm going by myself. Me and my wife, we going to the top. Instead of it being like, yo, me, Biggs, Dame, State Property, Dipset, nigga, we about to lock down this whole music industry, start our own distribution company. We about to make hit records, bang out hits. We about to just take over the whole industry. Instead of it being like that, it was like, nah, I'm gonna take over the whole industry. You niggas, nah. You hear about how shit went with Cam and the stories Cam got about the nigga taking off verses and jumping on songs just out of nowhere, just corny shit for real. Like, niggas a cornball, man. So y'all champion a cornball for real. Just because he's a billionaire don't mean he ain't a cornball, ain't a sucker. And that's what it seems like to me. Like, he's from the things that I've heard about him from not just Dame, but Sigel, a lot of people. Like I said, the only person who talks highly of him with everything that he's ever done in his life is bleak. And that's why you can't believe that shit, because it's like, oh, so this nigga ain't never made no mistakes? You never seen this nigga do anything wrong? Get the fuck out of here, bro. So, appreciate the love. Make sure you guys click the link in the bio. Like, subscribe, know what to do. Peace.